A few weeks ago, I watched a random animated film about the stereotypical life of an office worker. And so it shows this guy going through the daily motions, kind of in a depressing manner, waking up by himself, never saying a word, going to work, coming back home, and the whole thing starts all over again. And the idea was to elicit sympathy for the character, but I found it was difficult for me to do that because although I have felt in the past that I was not happy with my life or the circumstances and there was nothing I could do to change that, I found over time that it's just a matter of changing the way you think and what you do. And so I want to address some of the limiting beliefs that I've had in the past and how I learned to change my perspective on those things so as to not only realize the possibility that I have much more control over my life than I might think, but also to enjoy the process. So in a sense, I had a very traditional upbringing where there was a very heavy emphasis on getting an education and getting a job, where I felt like those were the only two things I could do with my life. And especially as you get older and you get an actual job, it's not so easy to just drop everything and go pursue a career as a famous actor or travel the world or something like that. But as you might have guessed, the answer to this is a little simpler. It's not just drop everything, but instead augment those things so that they don't just define your life and that's all you're doing with them. So to that office worker in that animated film, I would say, quit coming home every day and just doing nothing but drinking alcohol and watching TV or something. Find very simple things. It could be something as simple as just buying a bike and taking a bike ride through your neighborhood, or going out and doing something social, learning a new skill like a language, or learning how to play guitar and taking lessons every now and again. And with those simple things come simple victories. So even if it is just riding around your neighborhood and coming back home feeling refreshed, feeling like you actually did something productive instead of just sitting around. Or if it is learning how to play that instrument and taking those lessons and finding in maybe 3 to 6 weeks, you can actually play something and you're actually a better person than you were about a month ago. And that's all it takes to keep you going. The other sort of negative influence, if you will, was social media. And I've talked about this before, and I want to emphasize it again because when I was in high school and college, I would do what most other people would do, which is scroll through all the posts and think to myself, look at how inadequate I am in comparison to all these people. Because look at all the friends they have that I don't. Look at all the parties they're getting invited to that I'm not getting invited to, or all the stuff they can do that I can't do. And so in turn, like I said, I feel very inadequate. But the problem is that although social media is peddled as something that's supposed to be very motivating and uplifting, the reality is that it's not. Because what it did to me was it basically had its intended effect. Because then I would want to go out, I would feel compelled to go take those same pictures. So I started living what you could consider a fake life. I would stage certain scenarios just so I could take the pictures, put them on social media, and get that much wanted attention. But the more I did that, the more I started to realize that that's probably what everybody else is doing too. So they're actually not these amazing, flawless people in reality, and instead, they're just showing you the highlight reel as opposed to the lowlights of their life. And so the piece of advice I have here is don't live your life for social media. Instead, practice taking intrinsic joy in everything that you do. So if you're going to throw a party, don't do it because you want to showcase how social you are and how many friends you have, but instead try actually enjoying the company of the people that are there and taking an interest in them. Don't travel the world because you, again, want to take those pictures and post it online. Instead, do it because you want the experience and you want to learn something from that. And lastly, amongst many others, I realized that I fell for what I saw in the movies. And as I've said many times before, movies are very good at portraying real life in a way that's very believable, but isn't actually very realistic. Because you always see, especially in the dramas and the rom-coms, the main character is kind of this underdog, a quiet guy that doesn't really say or do anything other than feeling sorry for himself. And then all of a sudden, people naturally start to gravitate towards him and start inviting him out to do stuff, and all these great things start happening for him. In real life, however, if you try to replicate that, then nothing's going to happen for you. Instead, you have to take action. So actually take the time to think about some things that you might actually enjoy doing, and then go out there and take the steps towards trying those new things, or plan things, or do social events and initiate conversation with people. The only time that nothing ever happens for you and nothing changes in life is if you don't act. So on a final note, although there are many things in life you can't control, that doesn't include literally everything. So have a positive attitude, pursue change for the right reasons, and most importantly, take action. So, hope this helps. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.